My people, the time of the United States of Africa is at hand. The United States of Africa will be declared in the year 2026 after a year or more of harassment from the UN, the European Union, and other powers that be that had a stake in the colonialization and massacre of the continent of Africa, in the scramble for power and resources and minerals. African tribes were torn apart and faced off against each other in a macabre game of power and entertainment to the power elite. As you know, the world is finally changing. Africa is changing. And now that the first of the European colonial powers has been removed from the table of the Africa dining experience. No more uranium, gold, diamonds, platinum, taken away from Africa for pennies and enriching your pockets in the multiple. Those days are through. And don't even think about attacking Africa because it wants to be free and united as one nation, where the world will pay fair market rates for the resources of Africa. 30% of the stolen resources from African soil enriched Europe and America. The other 70% is still in the African soil. Do you hear me? African unification will not be turned back. You will not portray freedom fighters in Africa who are trying to remove colonial powers sucking away resources and upside down loans and lines of credit to create debt to allow your corporations such as Shell and British Petroleum to pollute the environment, to take the resources, to take the money, to leave the people living like scavengers and dogs in their own land. How dare you? And this is what you say to the Africans, leaders trying to free their people from the grip of the colonial throats that you have, choking them from their life. Listen and understand. Africa will unite as a United States of Africa. Africa will fill its national treasuries by utilizing the solar array of the Saharan Desert, by utilizing the largest coastland of any new nation or country in the world for hydroelectric power and energy. Africa is blessed with being able to sustain itself as a green superpower because the smokestack industries of Europe were never built there in a number to cause a carbon footprint disadvantageous to the people of Africa. Know and understand, this will not stop. Africa will unite. The United States of Africa is on its way. By the year 2026, there will be a United States of Africa. And on their resources that they nationalize by kicking the colonial powers out and forcing them to pay fair market rates as they have to do among themselves. This is the first of several broadcasts that we, the USA for U.S. Africa Coalition for the establishment of a United States of Africa. This is our mandate. I advise you to join from wherever the people of the African diaspora have been taken away to, be it the Caribbean, South America, the United States, Canada, Europe. On the day of the Declaration of the United States of Africa, all of African sons and daughters are citizens of that new United States of Africa. And you have the choice and right to return to your homeland and bring your mind, your goals, and all of your ingenuity to build the strongest green superpower this world has ever seen. And when you venture 20 years into the United States of Africa, you will find intersecting superhighways from Cairo to Cape Town, from Mogadishu to Nigeria. These intersecting highways will be solar arrayed so that electric vehicles will traverse the continent from the power of the sun. Africa, the United States of Africa, will be that beacon of hope to mankind. And the world will come to Africa to marvel at this new nation. Some will ask, beg to settle in this United States of Africa. But our hearts are not vengeful. We will accept you, and you will treat your fellow African citizens with respect and love and honor. There will be further broadcasts before the CIA, FBI, powers that be make their attempts to silence me. I already have a mentor in the CIA, Luttrell Mike Osborne Jr., the man from the CIA that accompanied Martin Luther King when he picked up his Nobel Peace Prize, who trained CIA agents, who President Reagan assigned to go after Gaddafi in the days of the bombings and reactions to the radical Libya. But no, Libya changed and became the leading proponent of the United States of Africa. President Obama shook Gaddafi's hand at the African Union Conference and had to sit in humiliation in a White House viewing room while Gaddafi was murdered by insurgents arranged by the power that be. And while Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, sat there in glee at the death of a man who was assassinated in broad daylight, whose country was the only one in Africa that offered free university education to all its citizens. Now you know why Donald Trump did two good things. He kept Hillary Clinton from being the President of the United States, and he established the U.S. Space Command. So for all his other racism and crockery, be that as it may, you kept Hillary out of the White House. And for that, I thank you, because she murdered the president of a country who is trying to form the United States of Africa from a website that we put up in 1993. I will be in touch soon. Africa, you owe it to yourself. Become the United States of Africa as fast and as solidly and as diplomatically as you can, as soon as possible. And to quote Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Signing out, Blue Turban Stone, live from the island of Hawaii.